And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content. Man, you all weren't kidding. I don't know what's going on. That's blowing out for some reason right now. I just saw my sound line in the system. All right, we are live here on Plus One EXP. Uh, Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. My mic is tremendously louder than it should be. I've tried to pull it down a little bit. But we are here to play Ritual Deck after a lot of personal life and tech shenanigans. We are live, and I'm super excited to have the stream. Oh, y'all can't see me. You can't see my beautiful face. Hold on, let me fix that because that's what everybody's logged in for. Yeah, we're gonna play Ritual Deck, which is an RPG about teen card capturing duelist and the amnesiac spirits who they call friends. If I'm getting the elevator pitch correctly, Evan. But here on Plus One EXP, our goal and our desire is to help amazing designers meet great players who love their games and help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way to do that is to sit down with those designers to play those games, and that's what we're doing today. We've got an amazing crew of folks for part of this two-shot. We'll be here this morning and tomorrow morning, so if you want to come back for some Saturday morning cartoon vibes, please join us today and tomorrow. But with that said, I'm going to hand things over to Evan to introduce themselves and give us the full grand narrative pitch of Ritual Deck. Evan, you want to tell people who you are, what you do, and a little bit more about Ritual Deck?
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony. I'm Jay Evan Parks. I just go by Evan. Thank you. I use the pronouns he and him, and I am a writer and game designer based in Austin, Texas. During my daytime, I run a nonprofit called the Writers League of Texas, where we do a lot of writing-focused craft things. But Ritual Deck has been my passion for the past 2, 3 years, and seeing it finally out is so exciting. It is a game about having a lot of fun, but also dealing with great emotional strife and finding out who the heck you are and how to be a normal person when the world does not want you to be.
Oh.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's who I am. That's the thematic of Ritual Deck.
Awesome. Well, let's keep on rolling around. And this, Evan, you said this is your first time playing on stream, also too. We've got somebody else who it's their first time on stream. That's Dylan. Dylan, why don't you tell us who you are, what you do? Tell us about that album drop, also too, and where folks can find you online.
Hi, my name's Dylan Roth. I'm a writer and musician. I am one of the hosts and creators of the Pod Universe with Dylan and Dalton, along with my co-writer, creative partner Dalton DeShane. On our show, which is on YouTube and all podcatchers, we are creating an all-original cinematic universe of sci-fi movies, but we're not making the movies because we don't have that kind of money. We write the scripts, we perform them as a table read, so it has kind of a similar vibe to an actual play. I compose music for it, so they all have a full soundtrack, and so you can follow the expansion of all of these individual stories building on each other as we go. I am also the bassist and one of the lead singers of a band called No Jersey, whose album is out today. It's called Mondo Cool, and it is, if you like Weezer or My Chemical Romance or anything from New Jersey, you might like it. And give it a shot. You can't beat the price. It is streaming everywhere, these places that don't involve money. But it's also Bandcamp Friday, so if you want to buy some independent music, go to Bandcamp, buy a record. And also a he/him situation.
Awesome. We did drop that the link to the Bandcamp in the chat if you're watching live right now. We'll get it linked up in the description later.
Thank you.
Let's go to Alyssa next. Alyssa, you want to tell people a little bit about all the things?
Yeah, hi y'all. I'm Alyssa. I use they, them pronouns. I do some game writing. My game Unresolved Sapphic Tension, which is a two-player game about useless lesbians not realizing that they both like each other, is available physically through Plus One EXP. And I have some other games on my itch.io, which is a disasterqueer.itch.io. I also do some actual play stuff, primarily with Goblets and Gays, which is a Pathfinder 2e podcast. Our current campaign is very like Bloodborne inspired. Those are the vibes. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check us out.
Awesome. Love it. I'll drop that link to your itch page in the chat also. Then last but not least, other people don't allow on their channels, but we allow on ours. That's Viditya Valetti. Viditya, you want to tell people a little about who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online?
Of course. Hi, everybody. I'm Viditya Valetti. I use he, him pronouns. I am a game designer and games educator. I make games and I occasionally guest on, or I do actual play on some of my friends' channels, those who invite me on. And I have a game with +1 EXP called Longsword. It's about questing knights going on adventures. It's really fun and cool. And then I also recently released a game called A Land Wants Magic with More Blueberries, which is a GM-less conversational post-fantasy world-building game. Yeah.
And we did stream that here, and we will have
You
copies
did.
in the store in the next week or so. We're getting some over, but I'm dropping the link over to the More Blueberries page right now, so people can check out A Land Wants Magic if they want to. But super excited to have y'all all on because we always have new people, and we're always playing with different groups here on +1. We have a couple tools we like to use to keep everyone on the same page and comfortable. Those are lines, veils, the X card, the O card, and the open door policy. Lines and veils. Lines are things that may happen in the world of play, but they don't happen while we're playing it. They are off limits in play. This could be that there's just a hard line against any of them. So like we have a standard hard line against sexual violence and sexual coercion here on +1. Does anybody have any other lines that they want to add for the stream? Cool. If more come up, that's fine. We'll talk about how we introduce those. Veils are things that that may come up, but we just want to mention them and move on, touch on them briefly, fade to black, advance forward, or just not dwell on them generally. Does anybody have any veils they want us to shout out for play?
Yeah, I've got a veil on like vomiting sounds or big descriptions of throwing up.
Cool. Good to know, especially in a teenage duelist game. It does feel resonant. Cool. And then the X card is the ability to pause the game at any point in time by saying or typing X into the chat. We'll pause, we'll identify what the issue is. It could be that there's something that you are uncomfortable with that we need to add to lines and veils. It could be that you're just confused about what's happening in the scene and you want to pause and ask a really direct question. You can use that at any point in time to just kind of pause the game, identify an issue. We'll clarify it as much as we need to and then move forward in a different direction or with clarity. The O card is the ability to type or say O just to be like, I'm super into what's happening right now. Don't stop. Keep going. We love that. And then the open door policy is the fact that everybody on stream right now is a real person with real stuff going on in the world around them, and that they should take care of themselves. You might see them need to eat, drink, get up and go to the restroom, any of those kind of things. That's all normal stuff that real people have to do. If you have to do those things, you should. If our players have to do those things, they will. So don't feel trapped if you've got to hop up real quick. But we will try to take breaks fairly regularly as well, so we can do those all together, get up, stretch, and everything else. Any questions about any of those or anything anybody wants us to clarify before the stream starts?
I guess this seems like usually normal, but how do we feel about swearing? I'm from Jersey and I live in Queens, so I do it a lot, but
yeah, for our stream standard is fuck yeah, swear.
All right.
So feel free to do that. Yeah, I mean, slurs are probably more of an issue than that.
Yeah,
so
I would say
maybe not so much.
Unless
the slurs,
there's a
the
really good in character reason for someone to use one, I imagine that we would not, and you'd have to have a really good reason.
Yeah. Unless they're about Jersey, then it's fine.
Hey,
is anybody else here from Jersey?
No, but you've got one Jerseyan, but you got a Philadelphian right on there.
Philadelphia.
Also too, so you gotta,
all right. Well, go Birds.
Go Birds.
All right. With that said, Jay, I'm going to hand everything over to you. We have not done character creation or anything else. So if you want to take everybody in, help guide them through that process, we can get going on our first mystery.
All right, let's do it, y'all. Welcome to the world of Ritual Deck. So before we dive in, I'm going to read a few just like world details from the rule book, just so we're all on the same page. So In this world of Ritual Deck, the game Ritual Deck is an incredibly popular trading card game that has saturated into mainstream life. Just about everyone plays it, from children to the elderly. Uh, the game is played via fast-paced matches in which each dummy will summon a ritual from their deck. Rituals are cards that represent creatures, objects, or effects that can be summoned within a duel, and decks are the devices that make the duels possible. It's a paired set of like AR goggles with some kind of form of hard light functionality and a summoning glove that contains all your rituals. Ritual Deck has another history, however, long before being printed and sold by the company Illusory Innovations. It was played as a form of magic in an ancient civilization lost to history. Um, a few things about what will connect all of our players to characters together is that you guys are the Battle City Prep duelists. One, you are all up and coming ranked players of Ritual Deck. And two, you are all students at Battle City Prep, a prestigious high school located in the heart of downtown Gamble City. And is the first of these such schools to be devoted to training the next generation of top ranked Ritual Deck players. Finally, as we'll discover during character creation, each of your duelists have been possessed by an ancient spirit from this long forgotten civilization, splitting you into two, your light and shadow. We'll dive into more of what that as we pick our shadows. The last thing I wanted to share with you guys is a little bit about the ancient city, which is all these shadows come from the same forgotten civilization, which we will refer to as the ancient city. Uh, the only thing that we really know here right now is that Ritual Deck as a card game originated here, and so did the shadows. Past that, everything is obscured. We'll discover that during play. Let's take a look at picking our characters. We provided you the playbooks ahead of time. If you guys had a chance to take a look, if y'all would like to call out which one you may be interested in, we'll dive in a bit more.
I am very much feeling the Scion, but I could also do the Tomb Keeper. Not to break your game right off the back,
But also, I love the Scion. Okay.
I would love to play the Law, because just because I think it would be funny after my therapist talks about how I indulge in binary thinking, for me to play a character who's really, really, really attached to the rules.
All right. I love it.
I was like between the Scribe and the Tomb Keeper. I'm just trying to think which one maybe I like more. Let's go with the Scribe.
All right. Alyssa, so do you want to do the Scion or the Tomb Keeper?
I will do the Scion.
Ha! There it is. Okay. So this adds a bit of a special layer to our game. I said all of you are possessed by an ancient shadow. That is no longer true. Alyssa is our Seto Kaiba of the game, where
God, I
they
love
are
that.
not. They do not have an ancient shadow. They are just rich.
Which is its
I'm
own
so
kind of
happy.
ancient shadow.
I mean, just my favorite character of all time. So I can't wait to see
Okay.
what you do with that, Alyssa.
Oh no, the pressure.
No pressure at all. I promise.
Okay. So, if you guys would please, actually, just to introduce the playbooks to the audience here, would you read the flavor text to your playbook? It's located right next to the big name. Let's start with you, Alyssa. Just introduce us to what the Scion is.
Once upon a time, here and now, you were born with all the gifts: money, fame, talent. Someone once said heavy is the head that wears the crown. But for the heir apparent, that type of pressure makes all the difference. Everyone is a rival, and no one is worth your time. But there are some people who have caught your interest.
Dylan, introduce us to the law, please.
Once upon a time, in the ancient city, someone was tasked with keeping order and maintaining the rule of law, even making up that law sometimes, even taking the law into their own hands. That someone liked it. That someone was you. You don't remember much about your old job right now, but you do know there's right and wrong, and you're there to hold the line.
Ooh, and Viditia, please describe.
I'm sorry to do this. I'm gonna switch to the Tomb Keeper if it's not too late.
Oh, Tomb Keeper. I'm glad.
Is that fine?
Yeah, please.
I was like, I looked more at the moves a bit more. Okay, so once upon a time in the ancient city, you were in charge of minding the dead, assisting with that final transition to the other side. Being so close to death in life, when it was your turn at the end of the ancient city, you passed through the inky blackness of the void and carried some of it with you when you came back.
Okay. Now, so as for playing our characters, these are your shadow playbooks. This is whenever you embody that darker self of you. There we'll be calling out the rules when you're able to access these moves. But Dylan and Viditia, you have another side to you. The light. This is your regular daytime teenager self. So you're going to be referring to two different sheets throughout this game. You'll be looking at the light during the day, and probably whenever you duel, because that's when all your power words go. And you'll be looking at your shadow book whenever you're ready to be your shadow. All right. So let's walk through character creation real quick. As we go through, I need you guys to please pick a name, a look. These are both located on the light sheet. And Alyssa, you'll find this all just kept on the Scion. The Scion has it all. And then on the light sheet, you may add 1 to the ability score of your choice. If you'd like to take.
While people are looking through those options, unless folks have questions, I'll read out the description so people on at home can kind of know what options are. Did anybody have any questions about that? All right. For look for the light, you can pick from all black and pointy, freaked out and small, student council stickler, unapologetically athletic, techno wizard, neon fluorescent, aren't you cold/warm in that? No style, all attitude, earthy in italics, just FYI. And cultured couture are the options for the look for your light side.
We'll chime in again and say, as you guys are working through this, please also select a starting wound. And note that on your signed sheet. It'll be on the light side for Dylan and Viditia. The wounds are listed on your shadow sheet. Take one of those that you feel will be appropriate and put it onto your light sheet. As you guys are doing that, I will describe a little bit about what wounds are. And we'll describe this again as it comes up in play if it does, or if we need to. But wounds are, here we go. There's in Ritual Deck, there is no traditional way of tracking health points or damage. Rather, over the course of the game, your duelist will be collecting conditions and wounds. Conditions represent some kind of narrative mark that affects the characters, and they'll be given by the duel master, in this case me, as a reaction or by the rules of this game. These conditions can take the form of a physical or emotional injury, such as scraped knees or unnerved, or a memorialization of narrative events, such as marked by John Smith, or even more abstract concepts like the beckoning well. When a player attempts an action, the duel master will consider if one of their conditions may affect that action. If so, you will roll the associated move at disadvantage. That being said, wounds are not necessarily grievous physical injury. They are more like the chip on the shoulder that each character has. Essentially, wounds are like a more negative part of your personality or your character's personality that can make it difficult to be their friend. Conditions can be advanced into wounds, and wounds can be de-escalated back into conditions as called out by the game's rules. That being said, a character must have at least one wound at all times. Uh, Also, like conditions, wounds can be invoked for disadvantage on moves, but specifically only shadow moves, which we'll describe what that is later. Um, each of you have 3 slots each for conditions and wounds. If you get to 3 conditions and need to take another, you got to bump a condition into a wound. If all your wound spaces are filled, you will instead mark a puzzle, which we will describe what that is later as well. um, how are y'all doing? Checking in.
So we put a starting wound. That's from our shadow playbook, right? And we plop that
Exactly.
onto our light playbook, like that
Yes,
goes up there.
please.
Okay, cool.
Because people were asking, I did drop the link directly into the chat, regardless of where you're watching. And a reminder that through the 6th, through the midnight tomorrow, you can get free shipping on ordering 3 or more items. So if you wanted to get like Ritual Deck, UST, and Longsword, you could get free shipping if you got all 3 of those games. It just sounds like a plan to me.
Sounds like a plan.
And to just round it all out, you know what? A new album dropped today, I heard.
Yeah.
It's
So if you need a
Friday.
soundtrack to any of your games,
There you go.
Some of it is I wouldn't call a lot of it fight music, but some of it is railing against capitalism.
Listen.
Yeah,
it'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Okay. How are we
Did
feeling?
Did you go over what the stats specifically
Yes,
are?
I'm sorry. We have 4 stats as in this game. Let me read out to you the kind of what they mean. So you have 4 stats to track your abilities here in this game. We have will, charm, faith, and luck. Will represent both physical and mental strength. So generally it'll be you're smart and strong. Charm is social skills. High charm means you will succeed in situations where talking is required. Faith represents your connection to the supernatural as well as the bonds of friendship. So essentially, if you have high faith, you will succeed in situations where you need to utilize a power outside of yourself. And luck is kind of the inverse of that, whereas how the world treats you. So you will succeed in situations where situation is more random. That is the
Cool.
4 stats.
Let me add 1 to one of the stats, and
Yes. And you may notice that between the light and the shadow, there's 2 different places where you have stats. That's because your shadow is naturally stronger. When you become your shadow, you get to use your shadow stats. When you're your light, use your light side stats. Being a teenager is hard, and that is reflected here.
I love that.
Except for Alyssa as the scion, you're just naturally better than everyone.
The oldest superpower in the world, cash, baby.
Yeah.
Screw
I
the
fully-
rules. I have
fully-
money.
Took that playbook move.
God,
Literally, screw the rules. I have money.
I wanted to call that out for the real heads out in the chat.
God, I love that so much.
While you guys are thinking, also you may pick one additional move on your playbook. I hope we get to use these moves during this game. I will say, for shadows, you can really only use your shadow playbook move as your shadow unless called out by the rules text.
Gotcha.
So it'll be when you're just starting the game out, you're a little bit more limited in your options. All right. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Okay, I got everything. So the checklist was name. Jesus.
Name,
luck.
One additional stat point. Wound. Pick one additional move.
Cool. Okay. Then I'm good. Well, except for name. I got it. Yeah, figure that out.
Yeah.
Always the worst.
This is such a fun playbook structure.
I'm like everything coming together. It's just like, ooh, this feels so fun. It works really well when you have it all printed out in front of you too.
Mhm.
It's very simple. You just swap between the two sheets as you need to. Um,
Any
yeah.
questions for anyone?
Yeah, questions from y'all, from the audience. I have chat up on my phone just in case too. Um,
Science starts with -2 faith. I didn't notice that. That's really funny. Yeah, because um, you don't believe in magic and friends are stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. How does the sign work? So I see the question, how does the Scion work in the night phase, and does the Scion just not use shadow moves at all? The Scion just stays the Scion. It has completely different mechanics listed on the sheet. But essentially, you get to stay in your most powerful version the entire game. You don't have to worry about swapping between light and shadow. You have access to your playbook moves whenever you'd like to use them. Um, there's a slightly different narrative arc for the Scion that reflects this. Um, that being said, yes, the Scion does use the shadow move because there's a light move and shadow move that is more of a thematic thing necessarily than mechanical. So yes, the as a brief description, the light move will be used in situations where like you're doing something risky, but you're not like at peril for your life. The shadow move, not so much, is dark and scary, and you may fail, and it will be bad if you did.
Cool.
All right. Are you getting ready to do our introductions? Alyssa, Dylan, y'all good?
I am.
I will ask one question that I see on the sheet. Does the manifestation matter right now, or is that something that they're going to determine play?
So we're going to we'll get there in just a second. There'll be a question I ask them in just a moment. But also on the sheets, there is a section to draw, how your shadow looks if you'd like to. It's a fun little thing. But please follow me with this. Once upon a time, there existed a kingdom in the sky. In this kingdom, scholar gamers gathered and discovered a way to harness the underlying rules of the world by evoking rituals in game-like duels. Those more adept to this game found themselves raised to higher positions of societal prominence as they amassed more power. The greatest duelist in the kingdom soon crowned himself the king of games. His rule was long and brutal, and at the end of it, the kingdom in the sky plummeted. Now, centuries later, he is coming back to complete his world conquest, starting with Gamble City. 1 week ago, you were in detention. This is where the story began. Now, let's go around and introduce our duelists with your name, pronouns, look, and what landed you in detention, and how that may be tied to your starting wound. Let's start with Alyssa.
Yes, I am playing Heather Worthington, she, her pronouns. The look is that of a student council stickler. I think she is wearing sort of a sweater set and school uniform adjacent skirt, although we are not a uniformed school. Um, very put
Oh, I
together,
love
very
that.
polished. Uh, and how I landed in detention. I mean, obviously, it was just a misunderstanding between management or, the teachers, whatever, with me, and my parents will be taking a look at it, I'm sure, after I get out of here.
What's your wound?
My starting wound is out of touch.
There it is.
That's good.
All right. Dylan, please introduce your duelist. Name,
Hi.
pronouns, look, how you're in detention.
My name is Freddie Bell. I use he, him pronouns. I, I, listen. I'm not a violent person. Okay, I saw something that looked like someone was bullying somebody an extra's locker, and they were just horsing around. And listen, I'm sorry. Um, I, I got involved. And I was not, you know, not really thinking ahead. But I am, I'm sorry about it, and I didn't want to hurt anybody. Nobody got really badly hurt. It's a bloody nose. Who gives a shit? Um, uh, yeah. Um, so that's where I got these bloody knuckles, and I'm not really a fashion person. This shirt is from my uncle's band. I didn't even buy it. I don't even really like the band very much, but I have 30 of these. So that's what I'm wearing today.
I love that.
And bloody knuckles is your wound.
Yes.
All right. Viditya, please introduce your duelist.
My duelist name is Rayanch. I don't have a last name. I haven't figured one out. Rayanch is kind of, I picked the Aren't You Cold Warm in this. I kept fluctuating between which one of those I want. I think Rayanch is on the warm side. I think Rayanch like wears like a puffer jacket and is like just constantly almost like in it, like they're swimming in their, or they're melting into their clothing, like they're like cocooning almost. Is such like a downer loner kind of like what's the word I'm looking for, like the alternative kind of like, hey, don't talk to them kind of kid. Um I think it's like kind of not like an active troublemaker, but probably got detention because was was maybe like kind of just like talked back to the teacher a little bit, or even like wasn't doing anything, but like a teacher fucking hates them because it's like, you're never paying attention, and like, your attitude shit, and it's like, I'm not doing anything, and it's just kind of like really shitty about it. And that's their wound is dead inside. Uh, and it's like, what's even the point? None of this matters. These are just card games after all. And
Oh my
so I
God.
think like, yeah, I think that's most of what I have for Rayange.
Rianch. All right.
Viditya, chat is asking you to spell that name real quick.
Oh yeah, Rayon. Hold on, did I spell it right? Yes.
Gotcha.
There it is. Okay. After the monitoring teacher stepped out in the hall to make a phone call, there was a shift in the atmosphere, and you each were struck by something unseen. Well, most of y'all. At once, you felt stronger, but even more brittle. In each of your hands, all of you, was a gold shard. Together, they formed a broken crown. Now, we're going to introduce our shadows and our playbooks in general. So starting off, we're going to go with Dylan Viditya again to introduce how your shadow physically manifests in your duelists. And then also, please introduce what is the beginning power word that is uh, associated with your shadow, and write that on the deck section of your light sheet.
Oh, fun. Okay.
We're after each of us finishes this introduction, we're going to go through and assign additional power words that will be found in that duelist deck. I'll describe more about what these power words, how they function in a moment, but essentially, you'll kind of get it once we start this. So,
Okay.
Dylan, please, how does your shadow physically manifest in your duelist?
Oh, okay. I put so much thought in my other guy. um, I think the shadow is like a coat essentially that appears like a almost like a constable's like a British constable's uniform from like the 1800s.
Oh.
Uh, no hat though, because that's dorky. Because the chin straps always it just stops here. What purpose does that serve? Why did they do that? Anyway, so I think it sort of wraps him up and becomes something that uh, projects a sort of arcane authority.
What's your beginning power word? And if you'd like to introduce your core playbook move.
The starting power word is righteous, and the playbook move is the letter of the law. Once per episode, when facing an antagonistic force in a single scene, define a rule in character that participants of the scene must follow. If the rule is broken by anyone other than yourself, act with advantage in punishing them appropriately. If you break the rule, take the condition hypocrite.
Oh, fun.
So,
I love that. I love that a lot.
add righteous to your deck, and now each of us are going to give you an additional power word. I'm going to give you. Uh, I'm going to lean into your wound here and say, uh, brass knuckles.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, let me
Um,
think.
Power words, they can be a noun, it could be an adjective, a very short
Uh,
phrase, a thematic
Right. We're
word.
looking for like a cool henshin activator, right?
Yes.
yeah, okay. That's a fun way to put it also. Hmm.
I feel like they should come with poses.
Listen, we will be posing later. And
Uh,
because this is going to be a two shot, Dylan, I will also ask you to make up your own power word.
Okay.
This these power words will kind of operate. This game has a light deck building, feeling to it. So there'll
mhm.
be some element of resource management, and I'd like you guys to have, a few extra resources to play this this episode.
Cool. Okay, I gotta give you a power word. I'm gonna maybe give you a color. I like a kind of a broad description of a color. So I don't know, blue. I feel like you got the constable jacket made me think of blue.
Woo,
Let's do that.
Okay.
good.
Blue. Now, just for clarification, it's not like if someone says that word or if I say that word in no context, things happen, or is it really anybody who says that word, I'm in?
So actually, these words, the way it will work is these will be the resources you spend to play cards.
Okay.
So whenever it's time to duel, or if you like to play a ritual move, um, you may dip into your power words to you're required to use at least two power words for anything, uh, and it will be the way you create the actual card you're playing. So there, you can imagine that's just like elements of what will be the final thing you play. Um,
Okay.
I'll describe more about like what that means as we
Sure.
go
I don't mean to
on.
get ahead of anything. I'm
Yeah,
just wondering if if I need to avoid saying any of the
no,
words on this list out of
not at
context,
all.
where I'll
No,
mess
you're
the whole
fine.
game up.
No, yeah, feel free to say blue
Pee
if you'd
Wee's
like to say
Playhouse
blue.
style.
I will give you the word shield, I think, given your introductory.
Sweet. And I have to
And
give
Dylan,
myself one more, right?
yeah, go ahead, give yourself one.
Um, hmm. Trying to think of something fancy. Um, Indignation.
There it is. Indignation.
Oh,
Oh, that's gonna be good. Listen,
good
this is
work.
gonna be so good. All right. Continuing along. Viditya, please introduce how your shadow physically manifests in your duelist, your beginning power word, and your core playbook move.
Okay, cool. I think it manifests. I'm gonna go classic personality shift almost. Where I think whenever that comes out, I take off my big jacket. And I turn from kind of like a cold, uh, kind of like what is it like what, oh my god, why can't I think of any other ways to describe my character? But I think it manifests in maybe some cool marks or tattoos show up. Um and I push my hair back and it becomes kind of big and fun. And then and then my personality kind of shifts from being very cold and distant to not like warm and friendly, but more like very like energetic, excited, um but still like gloomy and dark about death and things. So I go from like, oh, what's the point, everything's gonna die, to like, hell yeah, everything's gonna fucking die, let's go. You know.
Yo, that's awesome.
Let's put
Okay.
our lives on the line. And let's put our lives on the line is because my playbook move is in the void, which is there exists another realm beyond our own, a realm of dead shadow and complete isolation. Duels held in this space hold greater consequence. Once per episode, when starting a duel, you may declare it a void duel. You will choose something that is at stake for you and your opponent. Lose, and it is forever lost to the void. So I think when it comes out, I go like, hey, let's make this interesting. Let's like this, because I think I'm thinking that like Rayanch is like, it's nothing serious, it's just games. And then when my shadow comes out, it's like, let's make this serious, let's make this a fun game.
All right.
Yeah.
What was your additional move?
Oh yeah, and that goes into my deck, which is I chose Void Touched. I kind of just wanted more power words, so
Yeah.
my power words are Obscured is my starting power word, and then because of my move, I get Doomed, Skull, and Black. Um, Black is what inspired the color. I was like, oh, there's something
Yeah.
fun about a color, so I might give everyone a color.
Ooh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
All right. I will give you an additional power word. This power word is feather.
Feather is fun. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I feel that. Nice. Anybody else got any? Oh, and then I make one also. So
Oh, yes,
I'll
please.
about that. Yeah.
I will give you inescapable.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And I will give you the power word abyss.
I really like these. And then I'll give myself hmm. Uh Keeper, something about I might give myself like gate.
Gate. Ooh. All right. Okay, beautiful. And that leads us. Oh, Dylan, I didn't ask you for your additional move. What did you
Oh, I'm
pick?
sorry. My additional moves. I get to pick. I get to pick one of these.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you want to think about some more, we can come back and hear it.
Yeah, let's come back to it. I don't want to stall the game.
Certainly. Okay, finally, Alyssa. Please describe how your duelist reacts to these two other people in the classroom physically changing in front of you. Also, this golden thing in your hand, and then please tell me your playbook move, your additional move, and your beginning power word.
I mean, usually these two are just so uninteresting and below me, but suddenly there's something compelling about them. And I think I finally just take notice of them both. And then, these shards
I love
coalescing into a
that.
crown. Obviously, that should be for me, right?
Oh, that's
So
so
then
funny.
playbook moves you wanted?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, so the initial playbook move is Natural Born Winner. You learned from a young age that you're the best. Those who are the best always win. You always win. When you roll a 6 or below on a duel, you can instead make it a full success. If you do so, mark a box. Once all the boxes are filled, narrate a scene where you lose a duel spectacularly, then throw away no less than 3 power words. You can unmark boxes, a number of boxes equal to the number of power words you throw away.
God, that's
So
fun. Oh my
great
God.
up until the point where I am not.
All right. And your
So
additional move.
excited.
Yeah, the additional move, as I mentioned, I picked Screw the Rules. I have money. You can act. You have access to your parents' company's R&D division, ensuring you have the highest tech products years before they hit the market. You can play
Yes.
Ritual Move as if you were a shadow, but you must mark a box under Natural Born Winner on a roll of 9 or lower.
I will say, just because it's called out in this move specifically, there are only a handful of moves past these in the game. These moves are the light move, which I briefly described as like, oh, you're doing something risky, but you're not like going to die or anything.
Mhm.
The shadow move is when you're doing something dangerous. Um, the information move is when you're investigating something. The friendship move is where your wounds really come into play, where that's how you will clear conditions. We can get into that a bit later, it's more relevant. And then finally, the player ritual move. Playing a ritual outside of a duel allows you to, this is your way of getting advantage on a roll. Uh, Outside of anything else called out for advantage. If you're doing something risky, you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to have trouble here, you can instead create a ritual that may help you in that situation. Again, we'll describe how that works a bit later, but essentially, you get to take that role of advantage, and that move is slightly different whether you're light side or your shadow side. Essentially, your shadows are better at making rituals. Um, but again, we'll go over this as they come up in play. Okay,
Oh, I'm ready to pick my additional move.
please tell me.
I'm selecting habeas corpus. When a character breaks the rule you defined in the letter of the law, along with punishing them, you may also confiscate something from them. Choose whether it is a power word or a clue. Then ask a fellow player or the duel master to define what it is. Freddy is also going to redefine this move from habeas corpus to restorative justice.
Oh
That's a great
wow.
name. Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God.
Oh, why didn't I think of that? You know what?
Oh.
Tony, is it too late? Is it too late?
I mean, it's not, since it's a digital resource, we can update it anytime we want to.
I mean, this is just a character-specific feeling I'm having.
Yeah.
You'll learn, I imagine, more about what Freddy's deal is, but
All right.
flattered,
Alyssa, please
flattered to
tell
be considered for version 2.
I love
Alyssa,
that.
please tell me, what is your starting power word?
I mean, obviously, the starting power word is number 1. And
Oh,
I
that's good.
and I'm going to give myself devouring as my additional word.
God, I love that.
I'm going to give you the word virus.
Um, I said I was gonna give colors. I'm between gold or green. Which do you care more about?
I think gold suits better.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm going to give Heather the word untouchable.
Yeah.
We have unavoidable and untouchable on the field. Wow.
I love that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, fantastic. So note those down in your deck, each one on a separate line. Okay. You may not have been friends before. You still may not be friends. But you now are all connected by this shared mystery of these golden shards. And for some of you, these unwelcome guests. That, however, was only the tip of the iceberg, because just a week later, something even stranger would involve you all. Now we may introduce the episode of today, right before we take a short break to, you know, take care of ourselves. Today we are playing the episode Dual Justice. Uh, let's take a 5-minute break.
Duel just.
Helps if I
Okay,
unmute
right.
myself for you to be able to hear me talking. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in right about 5 minutes to keep on playing Ritual Deck. Come on back for name of episode, Dual Justice?
Dual Justice.
Dual Justice.
Dual
Dual
Justice. We'll
Justice.
see you in 5 minutes. And we're back for Duel Justice.
A body falls in the center of Battle City Prep's atrium. It's the night prior to the school play's opening. Trial by Justice. Scott Rudolph, the lead actor, is dead. And standing over his body in a state of shock is Lee Allen, his understudy and your classmate. Rayansh, you were once good friends with Lee. How did you two drift apart once coming to Battle City Prep?
Ooh. We I'm trying to figure out who had the interest. Okay, what was our shared interest and then how did one kind of move forward? Maybe like we both used to like hang out and play games together. Like maybe we were neighbors or are neighbors. And like you would just kind of hang out with your neighbor and play a bunch of games, but then now we go to another school. Lee got into theater, started hanging out with other kids. And like I'm like, that's not my scene. No, like, y'all are it's too chummy, too much for me. You don't hang out with me anymore because you're too busy doing all this stuff. So maybe like we just kind of drifted apart in terms of like different friends. But I think we used to play games together all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee drops to his knees. A knife rolls from his hand, covered in blood. He breathes shakily, staring in horror at the body. I heard a noise. Was that me? I'm good. Okay, cool. Then a noise echoes across the hall, startling him. Lee stands up and runs off, and we linger on the body, growing colder still and cut to black. The next morning, you attend class as normal. Lee comes in late and settles in his seat towards the front. The homeroom teacher begins class, but is soon interrupted by an unscheduled announcement. The opening of the school play is indefinitely postponed due to unforeseen circumstances. At the end of this announcement, there's confusion in the classroom. Paint the scene, everybody. A paint the scene question is a question we all get to answer, no matter who is present. So we will go ahead and answer this question. The school play is always a major event in the school calendar, and its cancellation is nigh unheard of. What speculation or rumors are being immediately spread about the cause?
Oh. Um they double booked the auditorium or the theater.
The drama teacher's drinking problem has finally gotten out of hand, and the school is cracking down.
Yeah. I like that one.
The two lead actors broke up, and so obviously the play is now canceled.
That's really good.
Okay. The speculation is quickly interrupted as four members of the Student Security Council break down the classroom door and handcuff Lee Allen, arresting him for the murder of Scott Rudolph. He looks around erratically and stutters, unable to get a proper word out, while the SCC members guide him out of the class. Lee makes eye contact with you, Rayansh, his eyes even wider under his big round glasses. He looks innocent. Lee will soon go through a school trial where, if he's found guilty, he'll be expelled. The Student Security Council has a lot of evidence, a strong motive, eyewitness testimony, and worse yet, the murder weapon. But something doesn't quite add up, and perhaps you're the only ones who can figure it out. All right, we are starting Duel Justice. We have a central question in this episode that we were going to answer tomorrow, which is who is the real murderer of Scott Rudolph? This question is a complexity 6 is complexity 6. And the ensuing opportunity will be to resolve this episode by defending your friend in court and defeating the real murderer in a climax duel. Um, to describe a little bit about this, uh, complexity means this is where we're going to get a little bit more mechanical and where that move I really glossed over during our very brief moves tutorial uh, ties into this, which is during this game, you guys will be going around and investigating around the school, talking to people, gathering clues. Um, and I'll be keeping track of those clues, what number you have. Because this question is complexity 6, you must get a minimum of 3 clues to be able to try and answer it. But essentially, this 6 is the big minus number that you'll be rolling against when we do the final answer a question move. So every clue you have and add into your eventual theory will be a +1 against that 6. So essentially, you got to get 6 clues to even it out. Anything past that is plus to your roll. All right. So this game is operated in a couple of phases. We have 4 phases. 2 of them are play phases, and 2 of them are upkeep phases. As we're starting, we're going to do our first upkeep phase, and this is called school time. I'm trying to get my phases. Here we go. In school time, we're going to quickly. You have on your character sheets homework questions. The first 3 of those questions are already marked. Please mark 2 additional questions in your homework. You don't need to say what they are. Just go ahead and pick 2. And essentially, at the end of the session, we're going to see what homework we've completed over the session. And every question you can say yes to is experience points you gain. So that's the way you level up, is by completing your own objectives you pick in there. All right. As you're working on that, I also want you guys to start thinking about what you want to do once we reach our after school phase, which is the next phase. You don't have to all go and do the same things together. You're actually encouraged to split up and gather as many clues as possible. And one last note, as we did all of our character creation, we are going to be having a kind of shorter after school phase and a shorter night phase, just to keep us within the 3 hours of today. So we're going to probably do one major introduction scene each for y'all in both phases. So I think a little smaller.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
Alrighty. Now, so classes were, cut a little short following the dramatic arresting of your classmate Lee Allen. You guys feel something drawing you to investigate this further to find out what's the real truth behind the matter. What are each of y'all doing during this after school phase?
That is
I can
good
help give you guys some
question.
ideas if you need help.
I feel like Ranish can be put in most situations for something fun. The problem with a loner character is they might want to be alone. So I like being dragged into something. If anybody else has like an idea, I can figure out why I'm also there or something.
I want to
Yeah,
see
I
the
mean,
evidence. I'm sorry. Right. Can I rope you guys into something?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can rope me something. Yeah, for sure.
A thing to know about me is I don't like cops. And school security came in here. They busted the fucking door down There's a knob, okay? There's a handle. You could just open the fucking door, but they gotta swing their big dicks and knock the door down and drag this guy out. Maybe he's guilty. I don't know. I don't see a lot of transparency about this process, okay? So, what I think we ought to do is we should go break into their office, go through the files, and see the evidence for ourselves. Because they're not going to share it with us.
Oh, that's fun. Branch for sure is like, I think actually is like surprisingly riled up about this also. Either because you inspired that, and also like is maybe keeping his like relationship with Lee a bit like not like, oh, but like Lee's a great kid. Like I used to know him. I think it's like, but Lee wouldn't do this. Like, of course not. Yeah, no, yeah, fuck him. Let's break in there.
Yeah. Heather, are you in?
Heather, are you in?
I mean, Heather has never had any problem with the cops because why would she?
Why would she?
Why would they bother her when she has all of this privilege? But it's like, I guess I'll come with you. Someone has to make sure that you can get out of this trouble you're going to cause for yourself.
Right. Good thinking. If they catch us, you can probably talk us out of it, or fucking bribe them. I don't know.
All right. So you guys gather together to make your grand assault upon the Student Security Council offices. Um, the Student Security Council office is something that every student at Battle City Prep has to go to eventually, whether they get a demerit for not dressing to school standards, or losing a duel particularly bad. They all You'll all have to filter in at some point. So you make your way to the offices and enter the grand hall that makes them. Taking a bit of a bird's eye view here, we have it's this big space that's very neatly divided between administrative spaces. There's desks and cubicles where various student security council student officers, wearing their white uniforms and black leather caps, are working at filling out paperwork. There's a storage space, an area to run drills. In fact, you see several of those Student Security Council uniformed students hustling across that space. But right as you enter, there's a service counter where you see another student just begging the kind of bored looking attendant to be let off the hook for a uniform citation. Paint the scene, everybody. What pieces of propaganda are up that are meant to inspire confidence in the Student Security Council from the regular student body?
Okay.
I don't know why they bother with having recruitment posters up in here. There's already like a million of them. What percentage of the school is in the Security Council?
Well, they got a fair amount of officers.
I love that.
Some are drawn to the uniform, some are drawn to the power.
Yeah. I think there's like a sign that's like, I'm trying to figure out the verbiage, but I think it's like, don't worry. Don't worry if something's wrong, like, or don't worry, nothing. Oh God. It's like
if you see something, say something, or
yeah,
no, the opposite
it's a little
of that.
Or no, actually, I think it's like we have eyes everywhere. Like, don't
Oh,
worry,
no.
we know when something bad happens. Like something like that, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, yeah. Hey guys, it's fine. We keep the school safe. You can't hide.
I think they also have just like framed headshots of all the officers, and beneath them, like a list of endorsements, like, oh, this person from the student council endorsed this person to be on the security corp. And you voted for the student council, so you really voted for these people too.
Mm-hmm.
That's very fun. I like that a lot.
All right. How do y'all mount your grand assault into this space?
It's a good question.
Okay, confession time. This is as far through the plan as I've thought of so far. So, we're here. Who
What do you
knows
mean?
how to break into things?
Ugh.
Do
You
we
don't
have to
even know
break
how to
in?
do this.
Can't we just ask?
Just walk in. They'll let us in. Like if I just go knock, knock, knock,
Eh,
this
I
door
don't
will
know.
open.
Wait, hang
I
on.
mean,
Maybe Heather's got a point. People like you, right? Maybe you can like ask to see the records. Maybe they'll say yes.
like me or not.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm
uh,
I'm all for a way to get our objective without having to bust any heads.
Great. I'll
So,
just go talk to the desk then. And above table, I think that Heather is going to try to talk to them. But if you
mhm.
want to take this opportunity of distraction to break in instead, that
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, I have a fun thing. Yeah. So if you go walk over and start talking, I
Hold
think.
on just one second. It looks like the stream may have dropped.
Oh no, the stream did drop.
no.
Hold on. And we're back. We don't know what that was. The internet's weird
Okay,
sometimes.
good.
But we're up, and y'all are standing outside the office talking about whether Heather or has a way that she can use to work her way in. And I'll hand things back over to y'all.
All right. Okay. So Heather, you said you wanted to approach the front desk and talk to one of the Student Security Council members to potentially, either distract them or just get the information on the murder. As you approach the desk, there is actually quite a few members who are manning this desk because they have to filter through quite a few students through their daily businesses. And the open uh, line right now has a student security council member dressed in honestly quite shabby uniform. It's very messy compared to the spotless white and very like pressed white jackets, their beautiful black gloves and cap. His seems a bit oversized. His cap doesn't fit really right on his head over his spiky black hair. He's tall and lanky, but looks quite young, in fact. Um, and he seems to be engrossed in reading a playbook, a screenplay, or a play. And let the scales of justice fall where they will. Or was it May? Oh my God, I was supposed to be off book weeks ago. Huh? What? You? Why are you bothering me? I can write you up for this.
Um, I was under the impression that sitting at this desk meant that you had to respond to my inquiries. You're supposed to be
Huh?
working, not reading.
Oh, well, that may be true.
It is true.
All right, let's
Can I
pause.
help
Hold
you?
on, pause again
Okay.
because
Oh no.
I'm not seeing the stream up. Is anybody else seeing the stream up?
Oh,
Oh,
no. I
wait.
just
Is
went
it up
down.
now?
It was up for like a hot sec.
Okay, now it's giving
Yeah.
me that it's been live for 35 seconds.
Oh
Let's
no.
Hold on.
rewind this scene.
Oh no. Technical difficulties.
Okay, it does
You know?
look like it is now finally back up. But it does it is not from when I hit go live. There is about a
Okay.
2.5 minute discrepancy. So let's go ahead and
Oh.
pretend we just came back one more time and we'll go from there. All right, y'all are right. Nothing is wrong here. This will all be stitched together later by Quinn. Thank you so much, Quinn, and look totally normal. But y'all are going to be standing right outside the student security office with Heather trying to figure out a way to get in. Take it away, team.
As a brief catch up to where we were, Heather, you're approaching the Student Security Council desk to talk to someone open to potentially either distract or just get access to more information about this murder, whatever evidence they seem to have. As there's several lanes where students can approach and speak to an officer. Those lines are quite full as students cycle in and out every day trying to argue away demerits or just accept the L and move on. But there is one open spot right in front of you where there is a guy dressed in a quite messy uniform compared to the spotless white jackets, black cap, and gloves of the other student security council members, and he seems quite engrossed in reading a play. Um, he all right. And let the scales of justice fall where they will. Or was it may? I was supposed to be off book weeks ago. Huh? You? What? Why are you bothering me? I can write you up for this.
And I could have you written up for doing schoolwork instead of actually working the desk.
Oh my god.
Well,
Such a cop.
I have the badge and you don't.
Oh my
And
god.
yet, I think you'll find that I have the ear of the administration more than you do. I mean, look at you. You're not even dressed properly for the job. I'm surprised that someone else at the desk hasn't written you up already.
He kind of shrinks a little bit and he's a tall kid, definitely younger than you. He's got spiky black hair combed back and he's shrinks a little. He's like, please don't tell me. Hi,
Heather.
Jacques Hughes. Pleased to meet you.
Oh my god. Puns. You gave us a warning. You warned us.
Jacques Hughes, everybody. How may I service you today?
Heather looks a little disdainfully down at the hand offered, but after a moment will extend her own. I think we see that her nails are short but beautifully manicured with the insignia of the Battle City prep duelists.
Yes.
My god, I love that.
So I'm part of the defense for this Lee Allen, and as due process for all of that, I need access to the records of the murder. Thank you.
What do you have to do with that creep? That guy was so weird. During practices, he would just kind of sit there and you know, practice lines for the lead as if he was supposed to be the lead. That's weird, right?
What?
Why are you defending a creep like that?
What part was he supposed to have?
I don't know. The teacher was study under or something. I don't know. I don't really do theater. They invited me to do this. I was asked specifically to be on loan from the Student Security Council because, bring a sense of realism to the proceedings. I know all about court procedure. Anyways.
Are you going to be following that procedure and getting me my information then? Time is ticking.
God, I love Heather.
Let's make a information move with charm.
Yeah.
Oh no!
The information move.
I'm being so charming here. This is a straight roll for me.
When attempting to investigate a mystery or discover hidden information, you will roll 2d6 with your relevant skill. Again, in this case, being charm.
That is a 6.
Okay.
Oh.
On a 6 or below, you don't get a clue. That being said, it does provide me an opportunity to introduce another mechanic in this game, should you want to pursue it, which is the puzzles. In any case you receive a roll which you consider to be unfavorable, you may mark a puzzle on either the light sheet or the shadow sheet. In your case, they're labeled on both sheets: puzzle of light, puzzle of shadow. Uh, and by marking one of these puzzles, or solving a